What does this and this have in common? Stay tuned to find out as we take a dive into the world of BYD. I'm Rick Bullemere, and today we're mostly driving a smooth operator, the BYD Seal. BYD stands for Build Your Dreams, and is the electric car company now outselling Tesla. Yep, you heard that right. But how? And what makes this car so special? Could it be the EV for you? And despite seeming to be the new kid on the block, this Chinese brand actually have quite the pedigree when it comes to manufacturing batteries on a huge scale, having produced the cells within products like the old Nokias. You may even have one in your drawer right now that's been on 98% since 2005. So have faith. They've now moved into the automotive space and are making waves. We've previously reviewed the BYD Atto 3, a fun yet functional, creative and affordable SUV. But here we have the UK's first all-electric executive sports saloon, the Seal. Super Sarah Sloman and I caught up with BYD at the British Motor Show, where Mark Blundell talked us through their latest innovation.
So BYD stands for Build Your Dreams. We're actually the biggest car company that nobody's heard of in the UK. We've made our 5th millionth new energy vehicle fairly recently, and we're globally the world leading brand for sales of new energy vehicles, so electric and plug-in hybrid.
Actually, this is what I've come to see. It was up in the air whether I'd make it to the show, and everyone said, well, you have to go purely to see the Seal. So here it is, and we just sat in the back, and it really strikes me that you've created something that kind of meets the Polestar and Tesla head on.
So it's built on our platform 3.0 technology, but the batteries are built into the base of the vehicle. So they're actually in the subframe, so we call that cell-to-body technology.
Is that better for handling and grip?
Better for handling, better for grip, better for safety, and also reduces the height of the vehicle, so you get the aerodynamics, so you notice we're sitting quite low down.
Thanks, Mark. Now, if you already knew the Nokia link, you've probably watched every video about the BYD Seal versus the Tesla Model 3. Well, we're going to try our best not to compare too much, because we think it stands alone. Let's see how that goes. The Seal is available in 2 trims, Design and Excellence. Today we're driving the top-tier all-wheel drive Excellence trim, which has an 82.5 kilowatt-hour battery, providing a WLTP range of 323 miles, more than sufficient for long journeys. It does 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds and has a top speed of 111 miles per hour. It has a maximum DC charging rate of 150 kilowatts, taking it from 10 to 80% in around 40 minutes on a rapid charger. The Seal is a stunner. The pinch nose and lighting give the front a mean expression, swooping through to the back, revealing a sleek profile and appearing effortlessly aerodynamic. The rear is fairly understated, but the light bar and side vents give the posterior some lovely definition. And the 0 to 60 time on the bumper is a nice touch to show off or potentially ward off anyone wanting to drag race. Or the opposite, who knows?
Hello and welcome to the interior of the BYD Seal. And first and foremost, everybody that has been in this car with me that I've taken for a spin have absolutely loved the interior.
I love it. Chunky steering wheel. It just feels solid. I like it very much.
Excellent. It's yours. It just works. It's not too minimalist like certain other cars. It's got all the knobs and buttons and it's just beautifully built. I guess if you're comparing it to a car like Tesla, which has got a little bit of stick for the build quality, some unfounded, I think this really takes it that extra step further. You've got this lovely vegan leather here, you've got this micro suede here, and it just feels really well built, well put together and solid. Whenever I'm driving it, I feel super sturdy in this car.
Oh, shoot. I mentioned Tesla, didn't I? Sorry. Cruising around in this car feels like a privilege. It really is one of the smoothest EVs I've ever driven, and so quiet, even on that horrible bit of the M25 where it feels like someone's slapping you in the ears. Don't be fooled though, hiding behind this smoothness is rapid acceleration. Going from eco to sport mode, there is quite the jump in throttle power. Our time with the Seal was pretty short-lived, so I didn't quite have the chance to really throw it into some fast corners, but it's not hard to tell that the handling is sublime. But of course you'll probably spend most of your time cruising around 30-mile-an-hour zones, which is definitely aided by its fairly advanced autopilot feature and air filters. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the Seal, a car that impresses easily, and if I'm honest, it's hard to fault. It's cars like these that make the arrival of affordable Chinese EVs hard to ignore.
Hit your foot on the brake, press that button, and nothing happens. I think Callum, have you got the key? Yeah. Okay. Hit the brake, hit that button, and and suddenly this huge screen comes to life. And if you don't like it in that angle, no problem. Hit this button. Portrait mode. But for the purpose of this, let's go to landscape. But anyway, let's just twist again like we did last summer. Yeah, it's got to be landscape.
The boot comes in at 400 litres with the seats up, passing our golf club test with flying colours. There's even an extra smuggling compartment for charging cables, or whatever you fancy. We couldn't find the official figures for the boot space with the seats down, and we didn't fancy filling the car with water despite its aquatic name. Something that doesn't come with all EVs is a frunk or a fruit, and it's got one, perfect for that extra suitcase on a road trip. Oh, and it's got ISOFIX in the front and back. We love ISOFIX. The camera lads certainly seem to approve of the seat space in the back, and even has a useful back seat pocket configuration. Lots of room for losing camera lenses, batteries, etc. Something worth shouting about is the model's NCAP safety rating. Here's them repeatedly throwing the car against a wall before putting the battery in another car and driving off. Our favourite consultant battery electrochemist Dr. Ewan McTurk was well impressed with that, by the way. Not only is it pretty damn safe in the unfortunate event of a collision, but BYD have actually made that pretty unlikely. The collision avoidance features are numerous.
Again, coming back to the safety, and BYD have nailed it again because they've got a brilliant head-up display which is customizable as well. You've got all of your options here, which means you don't have to take your eyes away from the road to go and search for things on your screen here. This is great. It's even got a timer if you're going to do a track day. It tells you your driving time, average speed. You can even set your chimes to go off if you go over a certain speed limit. If you've got back problems, don't worry, there's not one, not two, not three, but 4 lumbar support options. So you can fiddle with that down here on the right hand side, and it's very customizable as well with electric buttons here to move you up, move you down, move you forward, move you back. It's just so light and airy in here as well, and that is because of this massive panoramic roof above me. Beautiful. Just an easy car to work out, you know, adjusting your wing mirrors, locking your doors, opening your doors, and even locking the child doors. You can decide whether to lock the left one or the right one or both. I'm trying to think of what I don't like about this car. Decent glove box. This is just lovely to the touch here, beautiful. I wouldn't want anyone putting their feet on that though, especially not my grubby little kids.
There's also a particular quirk in this model which proved frustrating at first.
Okay, they've got the indicators on the wrong side, so every time I go to indicate I put the windscreen wipers on. Oh, it's very confusing.
While I'm sure you'll get used to it, oncoming traffic may be watching your wipers in a frenzy while swerving to avoid you for the first week or two of ownership. Sod it. Is this the car to take on the Model 3? Well, performance, tech and looks wise, yes, yes and yes. For storage, games and silly stuff to entertain the kids while charging, Tesla still wins that arm wrestle. So who would this car best suit? Well, anyone who wants a luxury saloon that packs a punch for a lot less than you'd expect. As a fleet car, this would certainly provoke discussion. It's quite the head turner. But if this car doesn't float your boat, there are plenty of other lease deals at selectcarleasing.co.uk. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you want more electric content, visit the Select Car Leasing YouTube channel.